Most people never take time to consider this very important fact. There is huge amount of richness within the self, and the self is bigger and beyond than our sense of identity. You see, as we go through life, we are connected with a field of experience that is constantly happening all around us, to us, through us, and how we project it out in the world. And every single of these moments, even when we don't think about it like that, it's like an identity. It's what we identify in the moment, what we feel in the moment, what we experience in that moment. Now, of course, we may think of identity in other, more specific ways. We may think of identity in terms of specific labels we give. But I'm talking about something more fundamental here. Because even these labels represent certain aspects of us that we feel are true at specific moments. And as we go through life, we always, typically, unless we put some thinking, some contemplation into it, most of the times we never consider ourselves beyond our sense of identity in the moment. How we feel in the moment, that's who we think we are. To whatever place we are at any moment, at in the field of experience, that's what we consider ourselves to be. And we rarely ever reflect through that journey, through different parts of this journey, to experience ourselves in a more wholesome ways. Because here is what happens when you do that, right? If we think ourselves as we grow through time in our life, as we experience different things, visit different spaces, we can remember certain things we strongly used to resonate a lot in the past, but they are not so relevant to us anymore. Yet when we bring the memory, we feel the emotional resonance of these moments, right? These are like strong identity moments, not just smaller fleeting things like washing the dishes, for example. I'm talking about perhaps dreams we had when we were much, much younger, when we were 10, when we were 12. And yet, we are not these dreams anymore. Now we have other dreams. We may have other aspirations in our lives. We may feel differently. But back then, we were it. And now we are something else. So, our identity shifts as we move within this field of experience in our lives, and we experience ourselves in different ways as this happens. But there is something also more than that. There is something more fundamental than that here. Because here is the thing. When you consider this more fundamental thing, many things change. And I want to know if something shifts for you, if something changes for you now or later. So I would appreciate it if you could let me know by leaving a comment or subscribing to let me know that some little thing clicked inside your mind, or it was like something like that sometimes. Because this is what happens when we consider the different moments, different things we were strongly identified with in the past, even though we may haven't even considered them as identity, right? We realize how our sense of self is bigger, can be bigger than all that. How we can grow a sense of self that's bigger all the identities we've passed through. And when we develop that, there is a power of choice there. There is a sense of self beyond any sense of identity we can start developing. And this is very fundamental in being able to make strategic choices in our lives, in being able to better navigate the field of our experience, choose our place in it to the best of our ability instead of just being in it. And choose when we choose, that's another level. Choose when we choose, and choose when we are just being in it. Right? That's even a more meta level we can achieve for that. Does this inspire you? I want to know, because for me, this was one of the major realizations, the major mental experiential shifts that happened in my life. Because here's the thing, for most people, this doesn't happen unless there is a crack in the way they connect self and identity. And that's usually when problems appear. That's usually when someone may visit someone like me. But here's the thing, with this advanced knowledge, you don't need to wait till that happens. You can start exploring and experiencing and investigating this from now. That's what this video is all about. So again, does this speak to you? Does this mean something to you? Does it inspire you? Let me know. Because there is another one part coming here that's very, very important, right? We talked about how our sense of self is bigger, our sense of identity, how we can notice that when we examine different moments of our lives, how typically we don't engage in this in different ways unless something big happens in our life that shakes us, but how with advanced awareness, we can explore this even more than before. Because here's the thing, most of the times, we kind of explore this in little ways. We're like, we are examining our sense of experience. We naturally do, right? All of us. But we don't do it intentionally, we don't do it consciously, we don't do it, with motivation, and we do it over small breadth of experience. And when we do it over small breadth of experience, we develop only a small breadth of awareness. So when you know that, I invite you to increase the breadth of experience within which you examine yourselves. I invite you to notice yourselves from above, and even noticing yourself from above. That's what this is all about. And it gets a bit trippy and meta, I know. But it's a viable skill that allows you strategic choice, strategic life engagement, more enjoyment in life. It's not just about being in the moment and being present. This is good. It's about choosing how you are in the moment. Because there is one more thing. So far, we talked about, how there is this field of experience and how by examining our breadth of experience, we can develop a meta-awareness of ourselves, right? And be able to engage better with our lives and in different ways. And I don't say this is something that happens automatically, right? It takes effort, it takes mental training, it takes putting our attention into it. And we may find that at times we cannot do it, and other times we can do it better. And this is again info we can use on ourselves, on how we navigate ourselves through that. So it's a journey. But more than that, I want you to consider this magical thing. If your sense, your breadth of awareness about self is coming from everything you've experienced so far, and in the past, when you were experiencing these things, you weren't able to be aware that in the future, which is now, you would be able to experience yourself in so many different ways. Here is the curious thing. Here is the curious question. I want you to keep. I want you to stay with it. I want you to consider it. It is, in what way you may be in the future, you may not be even able to imagine from where you are now. What is an invitation you are receiving without even fully knowing what it is, that will allow you to be beyond anything you can predict right now? Because again, now you are in a field of experience. You're at a point at your field of experience where you cannot notice all it can be in the future. There is like a cosmic horizon blocking you from seeing beyond that. And you can see further and further, and the horizon expands. But it's about developing this meta-awareness, right? Beyond the causality of outcomes of anything you can expect. And I'm curious what this can be for you. I'm even curious what this is for me. It's something we don't know, but it's more something we engage with and accept and move towards, right? It's about a sense of magical extrapolation. Because when you can't predict, predictions are awesome. Predictions give you exact results. Predictions allow you to make strategic choices. But predictions are based only on things you know. And when you can't predict, or when you want to go beyond anything you can predict, you need to use this element of magical extrapolation based on how magically extrapolated you are now compared to where you were in the past, right? That's what this is all about, essentially. So I'm curious, does this speak to you? Does this mean something for you? I really care to know. Please write a comment, press a like, or even subscribe to let me know this meant something for you. Because this motivates me to make more of this and bring more of that into the world, which is, what I really enjoy doing, as long as it connects with you too. Okay. See you at the next one. Bye.